Then share the screen. Okay, so we are in this chapter of psychrometry. We started in last lecture, right? So first I will see what is this psychrometric chart, right? So in last lecture we have seen about the psychrometric chart, last few lectures, right? So here we have abscissa, right? Then we have an ordinate, right? On abscissa we have dry bulb temperature, which can go from, let us say, 2 degrees Celsius to, let us say here, 50 degrees Celsius. It can go. Here on y-axis or ordinate, we have specific humidity, which can go from, again, from 0.0001 to 0.03. So in it here, it will be kilogram per kg of dry air, right? Then in last lecture, I have showed you how to obtain the saturation curve. In this case, we are using the formula of specific humidity. We are assuming that air is saturated, and by that way, for every dBT value, we are obtaining points like this. So these are the intersection points of specific humidity and dry bulb temperature. So when I combine these points, so ultimately I will get an RH curve of 100% saturation. This is a relative humidity 100%, right? So this way the boundary is completed. Now inside of that, I have relative humidity curves like this. Again, I have vertical lines which indicate constant wet bulb temperature. Again, I have horizontal lines which indicate constant specific humidity. Again, I have this enthalpy scale is there. And from enthalpy scale also, I have inclined lines like this. So these are the constant enthalpy lines. Again, when this straight line of WdBT intersect the saturation curve, this point here, it is its wet bulb temperature. So it is a wet bulb temperature corresponding to this dry bulb temperature. So we have multiple wet bulb temperature values here on saturation curve. And then again, for that also we have a inclined line. Last, we have specific volume lines which are shown with the help of dashed lines. So such complex figure we get when we try to draw all the properties on this psychrometric chart. This is the basic of psychrometric chart and the curves which are present on it. Last lecture we have seen about the processes. First process is sensible heating. What is the sensible heating? Sensible heating is the process by which we increase the temperature of the substance, right? In this case, there is no phase change, only temperature we are increasing. So when I show this on psychrometric chart, okay. So this is a psychrometric chart. Here we have dry bulb temperature. Then here I have specific humidity. And let us say initially this is the condition or this is a 0.1. So sensibility means I'm increasing only temperature, that is dry bulb temperature or temperature. Not only dry bulb temperature, I'm also increasing wet bulb temperature. So when there is only increase in temperature is there, we reach to 0.2. In this process here, it is sensible heating. Okay. So here in this case, I am not adding any moisture or I am not reducing any moisture. So that is why the value of specific humidity in this case remains constant. Only temperature changes. Okay. Right. So if you want to know how much heat is being added, so you have to refer to the enthalpy scale. So definitely for the 0.1, we have some enthalpy here, H1. For point 2 here again we have enthalpy H2. If you want to add know the heat added in this case it will be H2 minus H1. Next phenomena here we have sensible cooling. Sensible cooling, as you might have guessed already, we are only reducing temperature. There is no phase change. Okay, so this will be again like this. So there will be abscissa, then there will be saturation curve, right? Sorry. So this will be not W. So this will be so this is a DBT and this is a specific humidity. This is a 100% saturation curve or RH. Sensible cooling means already my temperature is higher. In this case, because this is 0.1. So I will decrease only the temperature. This will become 0.2 and this process is a sensible cooling. Again, same process. If you want to know how much heat is being extracted, I have to refer to the enthalpy scale. Here enthalpy scale will be there. Here it will be H1, here it will be H2. Amount of heat added or subtracted, that will be equal to Q1 minus Q2. So this is nothing but refrigeration effect. Okay. Last lecture, we have studied another property, that is a bypass factor. So, okay. Bypass factor, okay. So this is considered only when there is a sensible heating or sensible cooling. What we are assuming here, so let us say this is one coil is there. Okay. This is a heating coil. Okay. Now air I am passing onto it. So air is coming in this direction. Air is having some temperature TD1. TD stands for dry bulb temperature. So that is a TD1. Coil is having some temperature TD3. Now when air will pass onto the coil, it is supposed to have to gain temperature of TD3. But in actual, it does not happen. Why it does not happen? It gets the temperature of TD2, which is slightly lesser than TD3. So why it happens? It happens because of this convective heat transfer. It depends on various factors like surface in contact, the heat transfer coefficient, the properties of air, etc., etc. So like that way, it depends on this. So this can be better shown by another diagram. So I will show you that diagram also. So this can be shown like this also. So air is coming in this direction. Air is having temperature TD1. This is a coil which is at temperature TD3. So what it says that some part of this falls onto the coil. So let us say that is a amount is X. And its temperature coming out, the temperature comes out to be TD3. Okay. Now there is some part which bypasses this heating process. So that part will be 1 minus X. And it will come down as it is. So initially its temperature was TD1. So it will be TD1. So we have some air at temperature TD3. We have some air at TD1. So their average, so that will give you TD2. Okay. So this is just a representation of the actual thing is happening. Okay. So I hope you are understanding. If you have any doubt, pay attention. If you have any doubt, please ask. So for that, pay attention, right? Okay. So what will the bypass factor here? So bypass factor here, it will be in case of heating, let us say it is a heating. So in numerator, we are expecting the actual temperature drop. Actual temperature drop will be TD3 minus TD2, and maximum temperature drop will be in denominator, which is an ideal condition. That ideal condition is nothing but TD3 minus TD2. So this will give you the bypass factor in heating case, right? If it is cooling case, just we have to change the sign here. So it will be TD2 minus TD3, because TD3 is a cooling coil temperature. It will be TD1 minus TD3. So this is for cooling purpose. Okay, so write it down. Bypass factor formula. Okay, so let me just stop for 1 second. Uh, so wait. Okay, so this was the formula for bypass factor, which we have seen just now. Right? Now we'll solve numerical, which is here, right? I hope it is visible. If not, then I will minimize the screen. Yes, is it visible? The problem? Okay, just I will put it at the bottom, right? Okay, so the problem here it is atmospheric air with a DBT of 28 degrees Celsius and WBT of 17 degrees Celsius is cooled to 15 Celsius without changing its moisture content. So when it says without changing its moisture content, it solely means it is a sensible cooling. So find RH1, RH2 and WBT2. So this example already we have taken in last lecture, but last lecture there was some network issue was there. So I will solve once again, right? So for this, we have to go to the our this psychrometric chart. So there I will show you. Yes. So this is a psychrometric chart which is given by ASHRAE here in this case, right? First, I have to mark the point 1. Okay. So I'll make the use of annotation, right? Now here the temperature WBT was 17 degrees Celsius and DBT was 28 degrees Celsius. So if you are able to see the screen, see here, this is 20, right? This is 30. So 28 will be here. Then 17 degrees Celsius I have to plot. Now this is the WBT values are here. So here it is 15, here it is 20. And these dash lines, what you see here, dash line, these are the constant WBT lines. So 15 So here it will be 16, here it will be 17. So this is a 17 actually. So I have to come down with the constant line and I have to stop wherever I get a 28 degrees Celsius WBT. So this will be 28 degrees Celsius DBT. So here is my point. So this is a point 1. Now this is a case of sensible cooling. Here it is being cooled to, I suppose it is cooled to 15 degrees Celsius, right? So I'll go back again. So I have to locate 15 degrees Celsius. So here this is 20 and here it will be 15. So this is a 15. I hope you are able to see. And this is its constant DBT line. What I have to do here, I have to go from this point. I have to start the journey because this is a sensible cooling. And I have to stop wherever I see a 15 degrees Celsius DBT. So this will be my point 2. Okay. How did I get the point 1? 28 degrees Celsius DBT and 17 degrees Celsius WBT. I will get point 1. Then how to get point 2? So it is said that it is a sensible cooling. So obviously this will be a horizontal straight line. And 15 degrees Celsius DBT. So I have to take in horizontal direction. Wherever they intersect, this line and this line, so that will be point 2. Now very easy. Here they have asked first what is the RH1. So RH1 means relative humidity of 0.1. So as you can see here in this chart, it is shown at 30 degrees Celsius. What is the RH2? RH2 will be 0.2. So 0.2 lies on this RH curve. This RH curve corresponds to 70 degrees Celsius RH. What will be the wet bulb temperature 2? So here I have to go. So this is 0.2, right? And this is the dashed line. So this dashed line I have to follow up to saturation curve. So this will be the WBT value. So here it is 10, 11, and 12. So WBT here it will be 12 degrees Celsius, right? So this way we make use of psychrometric chart. It is very unfortunate that we have to conduct this in online mode. It is very actually funny and not funny. It is very engaging activity to read the psychrometric chart, to draw these processes, etc., etc. Okay. So there you go. We have these values. I'll erase this one. Okay, so I will explain with the help of psychrometric figure also. The psychrometric chart. Here it is, DBT is there. Here it is, specific humidity is there. So initially, this was the condition. 0.1 was there, where the DBT was 28 degrees Celsius and WBT was 17 degrees Celsius. Initially the RH was 30%. Okay. Now they undergo sensible cooling. Like I don't know where to stop, but they have given the DBT value as 15 degrees Celsius. So somewhere here, 15 degrees Celsius lies. I have to go in upward direction. Wherever these two intersect, that will be my point 2. So this is the point 2. Now here, what is the RH? I have to just follow the RH curve. So here from graph, it is 70%. How to find the WBT? So I have to just go into the, follow these dashed lines which are already present and I have to obtain this value. So this obtain comes out to be 12 degrees Celsius WBT. This is the process of sensible cooling from point 1 to point 2. Sensible cooling. Okay. Now let us move to the next example. So I hope you understood. If you want to write down, you can write down. Okay. Now example number 2, in a heating application, moist air enters a steam heating coil at 10 degrees Celsius. That means entering temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, 50% RH, and leaves at 30 degrees Celsius. Determine the sensible heat transfer if the mass flow rate of air is 100 kg of dry air per second. Okay. So here they have given moisture steam heating coil. 10 degrees Celsius leaves at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. So this is a straight away example of sensible heating. Here we have to calculate how much heat is being added. So this is a dBT. This is specific humidity. In this case, again, you have to draw point. I have to find a point which satisfies this condition of 10 degrees Celsius and not this one. 50% RH is there, and it leaves at 30 degrees Celsius. So again, I have to find another point, 30 degrees Celsius. This way I can join this. I will get the point number 2. Now here in this case, they have given the value of mass flow rate. You can obtain the mass flow rate. From a mass flow rate, you can obtain the heat transfer. So here in this case, given data, here it is. So they are given TD1 as 10 degrees Celsius, RH1 as 50%. They have given TD2 as 30 degrees Celsius. Then here we have to find Q, right? Again, they are given mass flow rate also. Mass flow rate is given as 100 kg of dry air per second. Okay, you have to find the Q. So solution here, Q, the value of Q will be equal to. So as I told you how to find out the heat added. So we have to go to the enthalpy scale, calculate the enthalpy. Here it will be H2, here it will be H1. Q will be equal to mass flow rate into in bracket H2 minus H1. So here in this case, M is already given. Just we have to find out the H2 and H1 values. So from graph, I will obtain that. Right? Okay. So annotate. So first thing here it is 10 degrees Celsius I have to plot. So here it is 10 degrees Celsius, 50% RH curve. So this is the 50% RH curve is there. Whenever they intersect, so that will be my point number 1. So this, yes, correct. So this will be my point number 1. Now here it is sensible heating case is there. So I have to draw an horizontal line until it doesn't cross 30 degrees Celsius. So here it is 30 degree Celsius line. This is a vertical line. I have to draw now a horizontal line through this. Okay. Here I will get a point number 2. Okay. So this way simply I have plotted 2 points. Now how to obtain the enthalpy? So just I have to go into the inclined direction of from point 1. So this will be here. So this will give me a 20 kilojoule per kg enthalpy. So this is my H1. How to get the H2? Again here I have a clear and distinct line. So that is a 40 kilojoule per kg. So it is simple as it is, right? So again I will go back to this thing. Disable this thing. I will again enable our pane. So not the laser. So here H1 value comes out to be 20 kilojoule per kg. H2 comes out to be 40 kilojoule per kg. Now simply I will calculate the Q. Q here it will be 100 into 40 minus 20. So calculate this and put in the chat box. With unit. Yes, calculate this and put in the chat box with units. Yes, very simple calculation. Put in the chat box. Or should I call by your names? So if you are attending the lecture, try to participate. Those who are not attending the lecture, definitely they will observe reduction in their marks, internal marks. Last year also, I have not tolerated the people who had very low attendance, very low performance. I had given them minimum marks. So to do something, you have to face the consequences also, right? So anyway, any answers or should I write down? Right. So here answer, it will be like 20 into 100. So that will be 2000. Again, this unit will be here kilowatt, right? Because this is a kilogram per second. Here it is kg per kilogram. Kilogram will be cancelled. Kilojoule per second, that will be kilowatt. So that's where that much amount of heat is being transferred by the heating coil or the steam heating coil to the air. Right? Okay. Now, third example here it is a quantity of air having volume of 300 meter cube at 30 degrees Celsius dBT and 25 degrees Celsius WBT is heated to 40 degrees Celsius. Estimate the amount of heat added, final RH and WBT. The air pressure is 10.325 kilopascal, right? Simply again, we have to make use of psychrometric chart. We have to find the values, right? Here in this case, if you see what is happening here, definitely this is a case of sensible heating, only heat is added temperature for the temperature increasing purpose. So initially it is 30 degrees Celsius, dBT, somewhere here it is 30, 25 degrees Celsius. So wherever they intersect, their lines, constant lines. So that will be our point 1. Now it is heated to 40 degrees Celsius. So from this, there will be a point where it will intersect with the 40 degrees Celsius constant line. So this will be point 2. Estimate the heat added, final RH and WBT. So it is as simple as it is. Okay. 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 So what is given value here? 30 and 25, right? So here it is 30 dBT. I have to go in the straight direction. And here 20 is there, 25 is there. So here it is 25 is constant weight bulb line. Okay. So they intersect at this point. So this is my point 1. Okay. Now here in this case, temperature is increased to 40 degrees Celsius. So here it is 40. This is its constant dBT line. Here I have to draw a horizontal line. Wherever they intersect, so that will be point number 2. So here it is point number 2. Okay. And this is a sensibility process. Okay, so what they are asking here is final RH and WBT. So initially, this was the RH. So RH initially was between 60 and 70. So that may be 65 or 66. Now here the RH is below this line. So this line corresponds to 40 percentage, right? This is between 40 and 30, but little bit inclined to 40. So that will be, let us say, I will assume it will be 38 percentage. And WBT, how to calculate WBT? So I have to draw a horizontal line parallel to that dashed line. That way, I can obtain I think this will be the case here. So this is 80, this is 90, so 82, 84, 86, 88. So it may be 87 enthalpy. And what about the WBT? WBT will be here somewhere, right? So this is 25, this is 26, this is 27. And so this is between 27 and 28. So this will be 27.5. Okay, so that will be the final WBT, and final RH is 38%, right? Now let us go back and calculate the heat transfer. Let's go back and calculate the heat transfer, right? So I will first erase this data, then we can write down the other things. Okay, so given data, I will write down what is given in this case. The volume is given is 300 meter cube. The TD1 is given as 30 degrees Celsius. TW1. So whenever I want to write down wet bulb temperature, I will write down TW. TW1 is 25 degrees Celsius. Now it is heated to 40 degrees Celsius. So that is nothing but TD2. So that is 40 degrees Celsius. Estimate the amount of heat added and RH and WBT. So this is a heating curve was there, and we have obtained both the values of WBT and RH, right? So this will go like this will go like this. Here it will be H2, here it will be H1, right? So we have obtained, I think, for the RH value also, right? How to calculate the heat added? Q will be again equal to mass into H2 minus H1, right? So from the graph, we have seen H2 was something between 88, right? I think it was 88 kilojoule per kg. H1, I think we did not calculate. Let us calculate H1 also. So again, I think I have to draw it. Right. So 30 and 25 will intersect here, and their enthalpy will be equal to this much. So this is a 76, 77, right? 77. 77 kilojoule per kg. How to calculate the mass flow rate? So mass flow rate will be equal to total volume divided by specific volume, right? So total volume is 300 meter cube, and the specific volume you can calculate from the graph, right? So here specific volume at this point 1 you can take from the graph. So these are the constant volume lines. So this is a 0.02. This is a 0.9. This is 0.88, right? This is 0.86, 90, right? So this is between 0.88 and 0.89. So I will take it as a 0.885. Okay, I will take it as a 0.885 specific volume. So it will be 0.885. Calculate this value, and ultimately you can calculate the heat added. Okay, so again that unit here it will be it is a meter cube. This is a meter cube per kg, and this unit will be in kg. Calculate the value, and here total unit here it will be in kilojoules. So more you practice, more you will have proficiency in this case. To calculate the heat added, right? So this is the time when you will learn about a psychrometric chart. Even if you invest or even if you sit alone with book and try to understand the psychrometric chart, it may take several days to understand itself, right? So pay attention now and your most of the efforts will be saved. So calculate and put in the chat box what is the value of Q. What is the amount of heat added for this sensible heating? Yes. Yes. Anyone? Should I call by name? Prajakta Surve, Adesh Bankar, Nilesh Kadam, Aftab Sheikh, Nana Sahib Shinde, Mohit Taur, Avinash Dabade, Omkar Kale, Akash Mane, Rupesh Dere, Vaibhav Bhosle, Saurabh Dhotre, Harshada Patel. Okay. Harshada Patel, you had sent me a mail, but it has no attachment. So kindly send it again. Okay. So 338.98 or 340, somewhat really nearer to the 340 kilojoule will be the heat added, right? 340. So you can write down exact value, whatever you get from the psychrometric chart, right? Okay, so we'll go to the next example. This is little bit more like we have to do more calculations, but we'll solve ultimately. So the atmospheric air as 760 mm Hg. So 760 mm Hg is nothing but the atmospheric pressure. 15 degrees Celsius dBT and 11 degrees Celsius WBT enters a heating coil whose temperature is 41 degrees Celsius. Assuming bypass factor of heating coil is as a 0.5. So up to this point, up to like whatever three examples we have solved, we did not consider bypass factor, right? We assume that whatever temperature of air, incoming air, it will be increased to coil temperature. But in this case, we have to use bypass factor. Determine dBT, WBT, and RH of air leaving the coil. Also determine sensible heat added to the air per kg of dry air. Okay. Okay, so I'll write down the given data here. What is given here? TD1 is given. TD1 is equal to 15 degrees Celsius. TW1 is given. TW1 is given as 11 degrees Celsius. It is entering a coil whose temperature is 41. So that is TD3. TD3 is 41 degrees Celsius. Bypass factor is given. BPF is given 0.5. Determine dBT, WBT, RH of leaving coil. Also determine the sensible heat added. So we have to find out TD2 or then TW2, then RH2. Then we have to find out the sensible heat added, right? So simple example, it is related to sensible heating only. So this is a psychrometric chart. So whenever you solve a numerical, represent it with the psychrometric diagram. So this is a psychrometric diagram. Here it will be dBT, it will be specific humidity. Now, point 1 is 15 degrees Celsius and 11 degrees Celsius WBT. So somewhere here we will have 15 degrees Celsius dBT. This will be straight line. Somewhere here we will have 11 degrees Celsius WBT. So here I will get a point. Here it will be constant WBT line. Wherever these two lines cross, I will get point 1. So it is increased to 41 degrees Celsius. Somewhere here it will lie a 41 degrees Celsius point. Here it will be its straight line. And we have to, as it is a sensible cooling, it will be horizontal line. Sensible heating, it will be a horizontal line. So like this, wherever these two intersect, that will be point number 2. And this is a case of sensible heating. So here again, we have to find out the heat added, sensible heat added. So this is the sensible heat is added. So horizontal part is always sensible heat. Vertical part is always latent heat, right? Sensible heat is added. How to find out? So here again, you have to do this. Here it will be H1, here it will be H2, and you have to find out the SH. So here, sensible heat will be equal to H2 minus H1. Okay, so for that, first we have to plot these 2 points, and then we can go for enthalpy, right? So we'll go to the again to this psychrometric chart. First thing you have to plot here it is 15 and 11. So 15 is here, so here it is 20. So here it will be 15 dBT. This is its straight line, right? I have to search on this WBT values. So here it is 12, 10 degrees Celsius, WBT. And I have to search for next 11. So how to find 11? I have to search for this inclined WBT line. So this is the first line. Next line lies here, right? So this is the next line here. So this is the 11. I have to follow this constant WBT line. It will come here wherever these 2 lines intersect. So this will be my point number 1. Right? Now there is sensible heating up to 41 degrees Celsius. So here it is 40 is there. Here it is 41. So here again I have to find this vertical line, right? I have to draw a horizontal line. And I will get a point 2. Wherever these 2 intersect, I will get point number 2. Okay. So this is my point number 2. So they have told me to calculate TW2 and RH2 something. So here let us calculate RH. So this curve is for 10%. This curve is for 20% relative humidity. It is in between it, but slightly inclined towards 10. So it will be not 15 exactly. So it will be, let us say, 14%. Right? Now, how to calculate exact value? You may be asking, sir, how to calculate this exact value? You can calculate, just you have to draw a line here. This will be a line. Make it 10 divisions like this. Then draw another line, already is there. Then draw 10 divisions. And then you can draw lines like this. Right? Like this. Connect this point. So if this is the first point here, connect to second, this first point. This way you will get intermediate RH curves, and wherever these 2 level lines, that will be its relative humidity value. So I have assumed it as a 14%. And what will the enthalpy here? So for this enthalpy, again I have to go in inclined direction. I have to draw parallel to the inclined lines. Ultimately, I hope I will get to the value. So here it will go, if I want to go, it will go up to this one, right? So here it is 60, little bit less than 60. So here it will be 59. So 59 will be the enthalpy at point 2. What will that point 1? So I have to just extend this line here. So here I will get, so this is the 32. So I got the 2 values, 59 and 32. Now, so here I will put down SH is equal to 6. How much I have got? 69 minus 32. So this will give you 7 and 37, right? Kilojoule per kg of dry air. That will be the amount of heat added. TW2 in this case, I think we have not calculated. Yes, we have calculated, not calculated, yes. So TW2 have to calculate. So this is the inclined line which crosses the saturation curve here. And here it is 20 and it is between 20 and 21. So I'll take it as a 20.5, right? So let us take it as a 20.5. So here TW2 can be taken as 20.5 degrees Celsius. RH, we have calculated it as a 14%, right? This way we'll get all the values, right? So it is all about practicing. More you practice these numericals, more you will get the answers. Okay. So anybody having any doubt, they can ask. Okay, with this, we'll stop here. Put your attendance in the chat box, enter only numbers. Right. So what was the first one? Omkar Pawar, with the speed you enter your attendance. I expect with the same speed you can answer the questions also. Project Survey, you did not reply when I took your name, so your attendance today will not be marked. Yes, others show same enthusiasm and response and ask the questions, right? Because there is an external examination for you. There is again external practical examination is there for you. Even though in this locked online mode, external oral will be definitely will be there, because yes, it will be there. So last time also it was there. I have invited one industry person at that time, and I had to face a lot of criticism that time because students were not knowing the simple concept, right? So only basic questions or basic knowledge is expected in the external oral examination. That much at least you should have, right? Anyway, for the MCQ practice, I will give some PDF. You can practice it. Okay. So with this, we'll stop. We'll see you in next lecture.